What's up, everybody? How's it going? How's everybody doing? Another video. It's been a while, but I'm back and got another video for you guys, and this one's going to be about why you are being misunderstood. This concept is it happens often, where people feel disconnected from everybody else and they feel like they are different from everyone, and sometimes this goes into a negative thinking. But I'm here to tell you that if you're misunderstood, it doesn't necessarily have to be a bad thing, but it can be a good thing. I have a story of my own too, where, ever since self-improvement, I've been kind of disconnecting from a lot of people, feeling different from everybody else, feeling like I don't fit in certain situations. Sometimes people make you feel that way too, that you're different or you may be weird, or like, why are you so serious about this? Or why aren't you like everybody else? That type of stuff. But, why do we perceive that as a bad thing? Obviously, to start off the point with how us humans are social creatures and we have to communicate with others and fit in some kind of group, which we all do. We have to acknowledge that being unique and being different isn't bad. It's a good thing, because you're your own character and you're not going to be liked everybody else. You're not going to be liked by everybody else. You're not going to fit in with every group. Even if you think they are the cool group, you might just stand out and you might even be made fun of. But I'm here to tell you that it's not a bad thing. It's not a negative thing. As long as you're being your authentic self in those situations and you know who you are, then you will understand that you don't need people to tell you that you are good, or that you're doing good in life, that you're going to be successful, that you got a bright future. You don't need them to tell you that. You will know this yourself. And I'm just going to share my story on when this started to happen and how I could have a better approach doing this. So, first of all, this advice was given to me by my very close friend. Shout out to him. I remember back in high school years, I was in a little toxic friend group, right? And I would always have arguments with my friends, thinking that I always had to be right and they were wrong, or arguments that made me feel like weird about the situation. It's like, why am I having these type of arguments? Why can't he understand me, right? And then obviously the same perspective was from the other person, saying, all right, why can't you just understand me? And then the arguments just went back and forth, like it happens for the most part, but nothing gets resolved, right? You have toxic friendship, toxic relationships. Nothing really is good about it, or productive or constructive conversations. So I'm just here to tell you that the mindset shift, when it happened, I knew that there was nothing wrong with other people or me. It was just the fact that we misunderstood each other. So my friend tells me, why do you look at that as if it's a bad thing? You guys just don't think the same. That's what makes you two different from each other. And I'm here to tell you that ever since I applied that with people around me, one, my relationships with everybody almost got better. It wasn't toxic. It was more like, if I don't understand you, maybe it's not the best time for us to be that close, right? Or we disagree on things for a reason, so let's understand why we disagree on the first place, rather than trying to battle out who's right or wrong. So, you know, you have to acknowledge these things before you get to thinking that you're the problem, right? What if you start from nobody's the problem necessarily? You're on a different path, so is the other person, and you can both go on your own paths, and on your own perspectives and how you want to live your life, and let the other person live their life. You don't always have to be there trying to tell them that they're right about that or wrong about this and that, because at the end of the day, everybody still makes the decision they want to make in life, and they make the choices that they think is the best choice in their life. At least what I would hope everybody would do. So I just want you to understand that when you are in the type of group of group of friends or an environment where people make you feel like you're different and make you feel like you're the weirdo, or make you feel like you don't fit in, I want you to understand that, take that as a positive thing and use that to spend more time with yourself and understand why things happened the way they did. Because I'll tell you one thing, nobody should in your life tell you that you're the weirdo for being different, or make fun of you for being different from everybody else. Because being different from everybody else is uniqueness, in my perspective. You are different for a reason, because your purpose and your God-given mission is different from everybody else, and they don't have to understand you for that. As long as you can find a reason on how you can use your uniqueness, your different mindset, your different perspective, your different personality to your own purpose and mission, that's all you really need. So, just because somebody might be good at one thing and you're not, therefore you don't fit in, and they tell you that you're no good because of that, there's always something you can do better than the other person, and that's what you need to find. You need to find your authentic self, your true self, and then go after becoming the best version of that person that you are striving towards. So, this is going to be more like an encouragement video, because I had a conversation with my close friend Mike about this, and obviously when you're in a place where things are different in your life and you don't really, especially being a teenager or young adult, and there are times where your friends ask you to go to a club or have fun with them, drink with them, pick up girls, hang out with girls, all that kind of stuff, like hookups, these type of stuff. You tend to say no to that. You tend to focus on the other things in life because you prioritize other things, and you're being looked at as the guy that's boring, or the guy that's uh, like I said, the weirdo. But in reality, you know why you're saying no to these things. You know why you are not prioritizing the things that they prioritize. Because I'll be honest, hearing those type of stuff, degenerate things, I don't think you should be wasting your time pursuing that. Because at the end of the day, that's not what's gonna build your character to the highest self that you want to be. But the work you put in with yourself, and the things you learn, the things you experience in terms of productivity, is always going to be the one that pays off. Because as a young person, I've experienced that we go after what's fun, we go after what's exciting, we go after what's just that instant dopamine hit, but we never go after something that is delayed gratification, something that is hard at the moment, not trying to procrastinate, but actually confronting the problem and trying to figure out something in your life to be someone in your life and be the best version of yourself every single day. That is a harder thing, and that's why a lot of the times we don't like to choose that. But I promise you, if you go after that, you will achieve success. You will achieve some kind of results. And yes, success may be subjective to everybody. My success might look different from your success. That's a question you should ask yourself. Is my goals and my success that I have in my mind align with what I'm doing or not? And that's for you to answer. That shouldn't be anybody else telling you that you're wrong for prioritizing one thing over the other, but you yourself has to be answering that question. And when you go on the path of finding yourself, which is one thing that I really recommend everybody to do, is know yourself. Because when you don't know yourself, everybody can tell you who you are except yourself. But when you know yourself, there's nobody else that needs to approve of that self. You've already approved it. You know who you are. You know what you're going after. So don't look at being misunderstood as a bad thing. You're just sticking out. You're different. You're unique. Because who's to tell you that because you're different, you're the worst person in that friend group, or you're the loser, or you're the weirdo? What if they're the weirdos, looking at you as if you're the weirdo, right? And if you look at it from that perspective, the conversation can get dragged out into even arguments sometimes. Like, oh, why are you guys making fun of me? What if you're the weirdo? And then they say, oh, how are we the weirdo? They try to prove their point. You try to prove your point, why you're right, they're wrong. But this really takes you nowhere but the arguments. Now, don't get me wrong, these type of conversations are important sometimes. But then when there's no some common ground or common understanding from each side, then it just gets toxic. Why should you have to prove to your friends, right, the ones that are in your close friend group, that because you're different, nothing's wrong with you and you're okay the way you are? Why should that even be something you should be proving to them? Instead of having to talk about how you can use your different perspectives, different mindset, different personalities, the unique side of yourselves for the better of your futures. Why should that not be the conversation, but the conversation of you guys trying to prove each other who's right and wrong for being different? So I'm just here to tell you that you will be misunderstood one way or another, no matter where you are in life. Just like you will have haters no matter what. There's always going to be somebody that tells you you're a weird guy for believing in that you're wrong for believing in that you are standing out from everybody else because you're doing something different. You're always going to have that. So might as well be your authentic self that stands out, rather than trying to be the guy that fits in, that is still the weirdo. Because in somebody's eyes, in the hater's eyes, you always are going to be different, and you're always going to lack something. Because we're all humans. We're not perfect. And you're never going to be perfect. But you can be perfect in the eyes of yourself that is trying to be the best version of yourself. That is the perfection I'm talking about, not the absolute perfection. And in the eyes of God and His mission and His purpose for you that you're going after, with no compromise, no matter what anybody says. You got your eyes on the target, got your heart set straight on what you're going after, and that's all that matters at the end of the day. That's what I'm here to tell you. And I promise you, you can overcome that. I've been there, I've done it, and it's the best thing to know that no matter what anybody says, you know why you're different. You know why you're not like everybody else. And it's a good feeling, in my opinion. I like when I stand out from everybody else. That means I'm not like everybody else, right? Like, everybody wants to be different. Everybody wants to be unique. But then when they get confronted on being different, it's like nobody wants that. So this comes from insecurity, not knowing yourself, not knowing your purpose. So I would suggest you to sit down with yourself, discover who you are, what are your likes, what are your missions, what do you love doing, and pursue that. And then you will find that along the journey of trying to be your authentic self, you will lose a lot of people. You will get hateful comments. You will get disagreements from a lot of people, but that doesn't matter, right? You're your authentic self. That is the truth in itself. You are your authentic self. That is what should matter the most. So I'm kind of gonna end it there. I'm gonna share the Bible verse with you guys about encouragement on, you know, being who you are and just going after your goals and your visions, trying to pursue your purpose and your mission. This is from Deuteronomy 31, verses 8 through 9. The Lord Himself goes before you and will be with you. He will never leave you nor forsake you. Do not be afraid. Do not be discouraged. This is just such a good verse to encourage you that no matter who you are, no matter what journey you're going on, as long as you know that God is with you and God is going after you, and you are trying to stay close to God and His purpose and His mission for you, there's nobody that needs to approve of that when you know God is there. And there's really nobody else that you need other than God on that journey. And that's ultimately what's going to give you the biggest fulfillment, the biggest charge in your life that you will ever need is from God. And I want you guys to remember that no matter what it is you're going through, always keep a positive mindset on things and positive outlook on why you may be different or why you may be the way you are. Because there's more positive to you, there's more good to you than there's bad. And when you think positively, you can overshadow the darkness and the light shall prevail. So I just want you guys to know that. And if you guys have any comments, concerns, whatever it may be, let me know in a comment below. I would love to talk to you guys more about these type of topics. I would also like to hear what you guys think about this. What do you guys want me to talk about in the future? Check out my friends' videos on YouTube, Josh, Alex, and Mike. Check out our podcast too. We talk about these type of stuff a lot on there about self-improvement and all mindset and all kinds of stuff. Also join Mike's and I community on Discord. It's called The Guild. We have meetings on Thursdays, 4 o'clock. We talk about a bunch of topics, bunch of ideas. You know, I would love to see you guys there. Whatever it may be, we can talk about. It's pretty open discussions, and no matter what it is, you're always welcome there. And if you need somebody to talk to, text me on my Instagram or whatever it may be, wherever it may be. So until next time, and always remember, God loves you. You're not alone. And keep on chasing your dream. Go after it. Peace.